Hook. You're on an H-1B visa in 2026 and you want a green card, but pick the wrong path, and you could waste years stuck in a backlog that never moves. Here's exactly how to choose the right one. On-screen text, H-1B to Green Card 2026, your full roadmap. Intro, what this video covers. Hey, welcome to Green Card Blueprint. I'm going to walk you through every single step of going from H-1B to Green Card in 2026. No fluff, no confusion, just a clear roadmap. Graphic, roadmap visual showing H-1B on left, Green Card on right, with 3 pathways between them. Here's what we're covering today. First, the 3 main green card paths available to H-1B holders, EB-1A, EB-2 NIW, and PERM. Second, I'll explain the PERM labor certification process in plain English. Third, we'll talk about priority dates, that's the date that determines your place in line, and how the backlog works in 2026. Fourth, the I-140 petition, which is the core application your employer or you file with USCIS, that's United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, the agency that handles immigration paperwork. Fifth, realistic timelines based on your country of birth. And finally, I'll use our 3-door framework so you know exactly where you stand. Stick around to the end because your country of birth changes everything, and I mean everything. Chapter 1, 3 Green Card Paths from H-1B. Okay, let's start with the big picture. If you're on an H-1B, that's a temporary work visa sponsored by a U.S. employer, you have 3 main employment-based paths to a green card, also called permanent residence. Graphic, 3 columns showing EB-1A, EB-2 NIW, and PERM with icons for each. On-screen text, Path 1, EB-1A, Path 2, EB-2 NIW, Path 3, PERM EB-2 or EB-3. Path 1 is EB-1A, which stands for Employment-Based First Preference, Category A. This is for people with extraordinary ability in their field, think top researchers, award winners, people with major publications or patents. Path 2 is EB-2 NIW. EB-2 means Employment-Based Second Preference. NIW stands for National Interest Waiver. This lets you skip the employer sponsorship requirement if you can prove your work benefits the United States. Path 3 is PERM labor certification, which is the most common route. Your employer sponsors you, proves no qualified American worker wants your job, and then files a green card petition for you. Each path has different requirements, different timelines, and different levels of control for you personally. Let me break them down one by one. Chapter 2, EB-1A Extraordinary Ability. EB-1A is the premium lane. It's the fastest employment-based green card category, and here's the best part, you don't need an employer to sponsor you. You can self-petition, meaning you file for yourself. Graphic, list of EB-1A criteria, awards, publications, high salary, original contributions, memberships, judging, press coverage, leading role, exhibitions. To qualify, USCIS wants to see that you meet at least 3 out of 10 criteria. These include things like major awards in your field, published research, original contributions of major significance, a high salary compared to others in your field, and membership in associations that require outstanding achievement. On-screen text, EB-1A equals self-petition. No employer needed. Fastest path. Now, you don't have to be a Nobel Prize winner. Many engineers, scientists, business leaders, and even artists have qualified. But you do need strong evidence. The huge advantage? EB-1A has much shorter backlogs than EB-2 or EB-3. For most countries of birth in 2026, EB-1A priority dates are current or very close to current. That means less waiting. Chapter 3, EB-2 NIW National Interest Waiver. Next up, EB-2 NIW. This is becoming incredibly popular in 2026, and for good reason. Normally, EB-2 requires employer sponsorship through PERM. But with the National Interest Waiver, you skip PERM entirely. You petition on your own, arguing that your work has substantial merit and national importance, and that it would benefit the U.S. to waive the job offer requirement. Graphic, The three-prong matter of Dhanasar test: 1. Substantial merit and national importance. 2. Well-positioned to advance the endeavor. 3. Beneficial to waive the job offer requirement. On-screen text: NIW equals no employer sponsorship needed. You self-petition. USCIS uses something called the Dhanasar framework. Don't worry about the name, just know it's a three-part test. You need to show your work matters nationally, you're the right person to do it, and the US benefits more by letting you skip the normal process. EB2 NIW works well for researchers, STEM professionals, healthcare workers, entrepreneurs, and people working on projects with broad impact. The downside compared to EB1A? EB2 shares the same backlog as regular EB2 PERM cases, which means longer wait times for some countries, especially India and China. Chapter 4, PERM Labor Certification explained simply. Now let's talk about the most common path, PERM. PERM stands for Program Electronic Review Management. It's the system your employer uses to prove that they tried to hire an American worker for your job but couldn't find a qualified one. Graphic: PERM process flowchart, prevailing wage request recruitment file ETA 9089 DOL review approval file I-140. Here's how it works step by step. Step 1. Your employer requests a prevailing wage determination from the Department of Labor. This tells them the minimum salary they must offer for your position. On-screen text: prevailing wage wait time in 2026, 6 to 10 months. Step 2. Your employer runs recruitment. They post job ads, review resumes, and interview applicants. This takes about 2 to 3 months. The whole point is to document that no willing, qualified U.S. worker was available. Step 3. Your employer files Form ETA 9089 electronically with the Department of Labor. Step 4. The Department of Labor reviews and hopefully approves the application. This can take 4 to 8 months in 2026, sometimes longer if your case gets audited. The total PERM process from start to approval? Expect roughly 12 to 18 months in 2026. And here's the critical thing: your priority date is set on the day your PERM application is filed, not when it's approved. That date determines your place in line for the green card. On-screen text: priority date equals the date PERM is filed. This is your place in line. Chapter 5, the I-140 Immigrant Petition. Once your PERM is approved, or if you're going the EB1A or NIW route, the next step is the I-140 petition. The I-140 is called the Immigrant Petition for Alien Workers. Think of it as USCIS officially recognizing that you qualify for a green card. Graphic: I-140 key details, filing fee, premium processing option, approval needed before I-485. For PERM cases, your employer files the I-140. For EB1A and NIW, you file it yourself as the petitioner. Now, here's a pro tip. In 2026, premium processing is available for all I-140 categories. Premium processing means USCIS guarantees a decision within 15 business days for an extra fee, currently around $2,800. If speed matters to you, this is worth every penny. On-screen text: premium processing equals 15 business day decision on I-140. Once your I-140 is approved, your priority date is locked in. For EB1A and NIW self-petitions, your priority date is the date you filed the I-140. For PERM cases, remember, it's the PERM filing date. An approved I-140 also gives you some powerful protections. If you've had an approved I-140 for 180 days or more, you can change employers and keep your priority date. This is huge for H-1B holders who feel stuck with one company. Chapter 6, Priority Dates and the 2026 Backlog. Okay, this is where things get real. Your priority date and your country of birth together determine how long you wait for a green card. Let me explain. Graphic: visa bulletin chart showing EB1, EB2, EB3 categories with sample dates for India, China, rest of world. The U.S. government limits how many employment-based green cards go to people born in any single country, roughly 7% per country per year. Every month, the State Department publishes the visa bulletin, which shows which priority dates are being processed. On-screen text, Visa Bulletin equals monthly chart showing which priority dates are current. When your priority date is earlier than the date shown on the Visa Bulletin, your date is current and you can file the final step, your I-485 application to adjust your status to permanent resident. Here's the reality in 2026. Graphic, country comparison, India EB2, multi-year backlog, China EB2, shorter backlog, rest of world, generally current. If you were born in India, the EB2 and EB3 backlogs are severe. We're talking years, sometimes over a decade of waiting after your priority date is established. EB1 is significantly better for India, but there are still occasional retrogression periods. If you were born in China, there's a backlog too, but it's shorter than India, typically a few years for EB2. If you were born anywhere else, the Philippines, Brazil, Nigeria, Europe, Korea, Japan, your priority dates are generally current or close to current for EB2 and EB3. That means much shorter waits. On-screen text, your country of birth matters, not citizenship, not where you live. And I want to emphasize this, it's your country of birth, not your country of citizenship. Even if you're a citizen of the UK but you were born in India, the India backlog applies to you. Chapter 7, Timeline Expectations by Country of Birth. Let me give you realistic timeline estimates for 2026. These are approximate and depend on your specific case. Graphic, timeline comparison table. EB1A path, for most countries, about 1 to 2 years total from filing to green card. For India-born, roughly 1 to 3 years depending on Visa Bulletin movement. EB2 NIW path, for rest of world, about 1 to 2 years. For China-born, 2 to 4 years. For India-born, this could be 5 to 10 plus years because you share the EB2 backlog. PERM to EB2 path, add 12 to 18 months for PERM processing on top of the EB2 backlog. For rest of world, total is about 2 to 3 years. For India-born, you're looking at potentially 7 to 12 plus years. PERM to EB3 path, the EB3 backlog for India is even longer than EB2 in most scenarios. On-screen text, these are estimates. Always check the latest Visa Bulletin. I know these numbers can feel overwhelming, especially for India-born H-1B holders. But knowledge is power. Knowing your timeline helps you plan, whether that means pursuing EB1A, exploring NIW, or making career and life decisions with realistic expectations. Chapter 8, The 3-Door Framework for H-1B Holders. Alright, let's figure out where you stand right now. Here's our 3-door framework. Graphic, 3 doors, green, yellow, red, with labels. Door 1, the green door. You are eligible to move forward now. This is you if you were born in a country with current priority dates and you have an employer ready to start PERM, or you have strong credentials for EB1A or NIW. Your action step? Start immediately. File the I-140 with premium processing if going EB1A or NIW. If going PERM, get your employer to request the prevailing wage determination this month. Every day you wait is a day your priority date gets pushed later. On-screen text, green door, act now. File today. Door 2, the yellow door. You are close but not ready yet. This is you if you might qualify for EB1A or NIW but your evidence isn't strong enough yet, or your employer is willing to sponsor you but hasn't started the process. Your action step? Build your case. Publish research, get recommendation letters, document your contributions. If your employer is dragging their feet on PERM, have a direct conversation and set a timeline. Consider consulting an immigration attorney to evaluate whether NIW or EB1A is realistic for you right now. On-screen text, yellow door, prepare and build your case. Door 3, the red door. This path is currently blocked or impractical. This might be you if you're India-born, your employer won't sponsor you, and you don't qualify for EB1A or NIW. Or maybe your H-1B is running out of time and the backlog means you can't get a green card before your visa expires. Your action step? Explore alternatives. Can you switch to an employer who will sponsor PERM immediately? Can you invest time in building EB-1A or NIW credentials? Could you explore other visa categories, like the O-1 visa for extraordinary ability, or the L-1 visa through an international transfer? And if you have a spouse born in a different country with a shorter backlog, cross-chargeability might save you years. On-screen text, red door, explore alternatives. Don't give up. Graphic, summary checklist, know your path, know your country backlog, know your timeline, take action. Call to action. Listen, the green card process from H-1B is absolutely doable, but only if you plan it right. The biggest mistake I see is people waiting too long to start. Every month you delay is a month added to your timeline. Here's what I want you to do right now. Drop a comment below and tell me your country of birth. I keep saying it matters more than you think, and I mean it. It literally determines whether your green card journey takes 2 years or 12 years. Tell me where you were born and which path you're considering, and I'll try to point you in the right direction. If you found this roadmap helpful, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell so you don't miss our weekly 2026 immigration updates. We break down every change, every visa bulletin update, and every new policy so you're never caught off guard. On-screen text, subscribe plus bell for 2026 immigration updates. And if you want to go deeper on any of these paths, watch this video next. I break down the EB-1A criteria one by one so you can see exactly whether you qualify. Graphic, end screen with subscribe button and next video suggestion. I'm rooting for you. See you in the next one.